Early on in the career of the lifespan of the Outdoor Report, we decided that we wanted to take people to places that they normally wouldn't get to go and show them things they wouldn't normally get to see. And that's having the access of being a department employee and a camera. We were able to take people from wildlife work and research work, fisheries work, float trips, airplane rides that normally people wouldn't get to do, and show them places sometimes that they wouldn't normally get to see, but not always. Kind of to encourage somebody maybe to go to the Missouri Breaks and watch the elk bugling in the fall, those kinds of things. So the Outdoor Report was never meant to be controversial. It was always to show the upside of living in Montana and appreciation of what Montana is. And our documentaries from all of my career, from the late 70s on, we have always tried to show people the very best of what it is, the opportunity to live in Montana.
Did you ever have any experiences being out there that were frightening? Did you ever have any close calls? And
You know, I don't. I don't have any
Really?
great. I've never been treed by a bear or anything. I'll tell you, the biggest thing that I ever have run into is weather. And I've been in places, we floated the Wild and Scenic Stretch of the Missouri for a history film, and we got in a couple big storms and everything got wet. And then you're still 2 days from the takeout, and you know it's 40 degrees at night and everything's soaked. And so that's the closest I've been, but I have no great, I so wish I did, but I don't, especially if I could be right here and tell you about
exactly.
it. So.
Did it get easier over those years as we look at the equipment and we talk about that? Did it get easier to do the job, or did it change at all what you were able to do?
That's such a great question, because in the field that you and I are in, technology has just been a speeding rocket through what's happened. We used to shoot 16 millimeter film. Soundtracks were recorded by a separate piece of machinery, and it was done at a different time usually. Now with a little GoPro camera or your cell phone, you can take amazing pictures. And so the technology and what the technology will allow you to do has changed so much. But the thing that at the same time is the subject matter in Montana has not changed that much. When you film somebody who actually steps into a trout stream and fishes, that's back to real time. That people are so used to getting email and electronic, we ship things to you electronically. We don't have tapes, discs, or anything. But when somebody steps into a trout stream and they cast, they're brought back to real time. And so when I'm filming them, you can't hurry that up, because that's the experience that I think people want. And so a well-managed fish and wildlife resource is more important to people now, and as I retire, probably more important to me than it's ever been, because it does give people the opportunity to return to real time. That you're there, everything slows down. If you're watching elk bugle in the fall, it happens as nature. It's on the nature clock, not on what the fastest server you've got. And so I think it's really a great opportunity to show people that. And the technology and computers and all, we can do some things in the editors that can manipulate footage, but just showing people real time, real experiences of Montana's outdoors is, you can't beat that.
And I bet you can't pick a favorite story either, can you? Can you pick a
Oh boy, you know, I've talked about the snow geese.
Yeah.
And I have enough snow geese footage to build a vault and put it in, but I love going back every time. It's just it's the sight and the sound of all those birds is just phenomenal. And any time I've ever gotten to work with elk, I love filming moose. I think I don't have a favorite story. I do have a favorite kind of underlying purpose maybe to what I do, and that I think that traditions and values and culture of Montana play a big part in people's enjoyment of the outdoors. And I think private landowners and what they bring to the table for fish and wildlife habitat and the enjoyment of the public is just cannot be overstated. It's just a big part of what Montana is, and you can come here it's not a big park. You can go to parks. This is a diverse landscape, and I've always tried to show that everybody plays a part in that, and that the private landowners are huge contributors to the rest of us enjoying the outdoors in Montana.
Anything else that you want to mention before we kind of look at some of this other stuff that I didn't think to ask you about, or trying to think if there's anything else?
Gosh, you've covered so many things that I probably have given you. I don't want to make this too hard for you to edit.
I know. I was gonna.
I want to make sure that you know I really appreciate and understand that this has been the perfect job for me. That I would not have done very well at a desk every day, and my bosses have given me a lot of free rein, and I just couldn't have landed in I couldn't have been more fortunate to have this job open up when it did. I was going to go work in a ski run after
Really?
college, and my dad told me that he thought that maybe I hadn't built a big enough resume yet to take some time off. And so I had shot for the Fish, Wildlife and Parks, or then Fish and Game, when I was in college in Bozeman, and shot a bighorn sheep film when I was going to school. And I called up, and they had a 6-month contract to do landowner sportsman relations, and that was in 1977. And that grew to be one more contract, and it's a lifetime.
All right.